This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of their affiliated organizations.
Welcome back, everybody, to Ready to Connect. I'm Lisa.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan.
And this week, we're going to continue our cryptid researching and telling you all about the interesting, odd, strange creatures and lore in the states of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. But before we get there, how was everybody's weekend?
It was amazing. I want to fully promote the Rhode Island Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm part of the Newport Historical Society in Rhode Island, and receiving an email not too long ago about a free ticket to see the Rhode Island Philharmonic Orchestra on Rosecliff Mansion lawn was absolutely elates me.
Quite the honor, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I have quite an infection, right? And so this was on Sunday evening, and we were told at the concert that there was 3,500 people there at the concert and 6,500 people didn't get the tickets. And so it was a huge success right out the gate. I think everybody sitting at the concert, you could hear the hum of everybody talking like, holy cow, I can't believe this is for free. I can't believe they're doing this. This is amazing. And it was simply amazing. You had the backdrop of the ocean behind you. You had the Philharmonics orchestra on the veranda of Rosecliff Mansion on the backside. And the emotional, powerful effects that this orchestra had on 3,500 people was simply riveting. You would look around and everybody was, leaning on their chins, leaning forward. And every time they finished one of the overtures, everybody was just standing up because they put on this performance that was fit for a king, fit for the kings and queens. And it was really great because they did overtures of like all the great kind of theater works and movies out there. They did Wicked and Phantom of the Opera, My Fair Lady, and of course one of my favorites, which is Mary Poppins, because that was my era of time where Mary Poppins had come out. And I remember that's the first movie I saw when I was a little girl, actually at the Manchester Drive-In, which no longer exists. And I can remember it clear as day. And so what an amazing experience, and hopefully many more to come. So that was my highlight for the weekend, being able to just enjoy like two things that I enjoy most is A, being in Newport, and B, listening to an orchestra, which is so incredible, right? It's just it's a different feeling than your Spotify, or a different feeling than your normal genre of music.
Especially that caliber of orchestra,
Yes, they performed for almost 2 hours.
Wow.
And it turns out the Philharmonics has not been in Newport for over 40 years. So there was a lot going on there energetically. Very exciting.
That's cool.
How about you, Ryan? What'd you do?
Well, first I was going to ask you, Heather, do you feel like you have a connection? I feel like we might have talked about this. You have a connection to Newport and everything because of a past life. So,
yeah.
Each time when you go back, do you feel like you're kind of like going home in a way?
Yes.
Is that
as
what it
soon
is?
as I hit the island, as soon as I drive, I don't ever take the Newport Bridge in. I always go in the other way. Mm-hmm. As soon as my tires hit Newport Island, it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm home. And I always feel that way. And it's incredible. And obviously it comes from, because I wasn't raised around Newport. I think I went there once on like a bus trip when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't raised around there, but whenever I go there, I feel like I'm home. And it must come from some of the like some of the past life regression I've done comes from like the Gilded Age era. So
Hmm.
I think that's one of the reasons why I feel so very comfortable there. And like you have to literally pry me out of there because I don't ever want to leave. I love it. I love the immersing myself in the history, and there's so many beautiful things that Newport can offer, not just the brick market where you go shopping. There's so much historical value, and it's really cool. Yes. So yes, the answer your long answer to your question is yes, I do feel like when I go into Newport, I feel like I'm home.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really cool. I don't know. Do you have a connection, Ryan, where like you go someplace and you feel like you belong there?
I feel like I'm still looking for that. If I could find the town where I was in my past life for World War II, then I would probably feel like I was home there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still in searching for that. I know it was in New Jersey somewhere, so I'd have to go to New Jersey.
Okay. All right.
So,
Well, Ryan, seeing how you do have two co-hosts that are psychics, we
yeah,
might be able to nail that down for you a little bit more. We might have
right.
to do some searching.
I know, right? There you go. Yep. Yeah, we can figure it out. Um,
Definitely.
but no, I feel like I'm home when I think of like a time period, not necessarily a
A
place.
place. Yeah.
So yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
No, that makes sense because I have things that it's a time period that resonates with me, but not a place.
hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like I saw, I guess we're going on a tangent about past lives now, but I saw, okay, something related to the weekend. I saw a flyer for a World War II reenactment um, activity that they were going to do, like one of those dances from that time period, and I was so drawn to it, and I'm like, I wish I could go to that. That'd be so cool. So, I mean, I think that's what I'm drawn towards, like that time period, the 1940s, just because I know that's my most recent past life. But yeah.
There's lots of 1940 reenactment events that occur all over not only Connecticut, but Rhode Island,
Hmm.
Massachusetts. So, like, when you find some free time, you let me know and I'll give you a list. Like,
Okay.
um, there's a lot that goes on. Like, you can not only find like reenactment war wise, but like
Hmm.
music wise, there's so many
Yeah.
events now. Even now, just with the accessibility of Amazon, we saw, Lisa and I saw this with Bridgerton, where like everybody came to the Bridgerton ball in Hartford dressed in period kind of pieces. And most of them all got those period pieces off of Amazon. So,
Oh,
like,
wow.
there's the ability now to like utilize Amazon to dress that, era. Um, there's a group that is a Andrew Sisters reincarnation,
Hmm.
like a group that travel around to the warships and they sing on the warships. So like, yeah, when you're ready, we can totally um, make that happen for you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Um, so yeah, well, thank you for that information. It's appreciated. I'll definitely check it out. But so I guess one thing, yeah, that I did over the weekend was see that flyer for the World War II dance.
There you go.
um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, so this week I'm spending the week at my parents' house, watching their house and the dog, and she's sighing over here as I'm talking about her, and so, um, yeah. So this weekend, I cleaned a bit, just wanted to get some stuff tidied up before leaving the apartment. Um, but yeah, but also took Watson to a nearby lake again. He's getting used to being in the water, and well, not he'll actually put his feet in the water now, and so this is huge progress from a dog who's like petrified of water. So
Yeah.
so we're working on it, slow
Great.
progress,
Great.
but yeah. But how about you, Lisa? What'd you do over the weekend?
Well, the weekend for me was um, pretty tame, pretty calm. Um, Spent most of it, here at the house. Um, Reading my favorite things. Friday night we do a Friday night fire around the fire pit, and we had the storms come through Friday night, pretty big storms, which for those who were still around pushed us inside. And so it was like a impromptu game night. So that was kind of fun to sit around playing some games with, neighbors inside. Not what we planned, but it was still a lot of fun. So I like when things like that happen. But for me, it was just a mostly calm weekend, a lot of practicing singing, because getting ready for our Rock Voices concert, my husband and I, this coming Friday. So a lot of practicing with that. Yeah. So,
Wait, didn't I see that you went to a coffee shop and went and visited other little libraries? Was that this weekend, or did you?
Gosh, yes. Thank you for that reminder. Yes, it was Book Lovers Day on Sunday. It had to be Sunday because I think my husband then finally, something with the golf, but and I really wanted to honor Book Lovers Day. It was a day of reading for me, but to do that, I went to some free little libraries to stock them with some extra books that I'm not reading, or done with, figuring out, spread the reading around. And we stopped to pick up coffee at one of my favorite places, Wicked Press, to go. And my husband came along with me, which usually, he doesn't. And then I found out why. He even brought a book to sit and read, like when we were at the coffee shop for a little bit. And I'm like, this is really different for him to be doing. And then as soon as I'm like, well, I'm ready to go, we can go back home. And he goes, oh, well, we need to go to Home Depot. We need to go do this. So it was more like, I'll come along with you, and then we're going to be out doing my errands. So but that's all right. He got what he needed, and then he went about his yard work that, he couldn't do on Saturday. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. It was Book Lovers Day, and I am a book lover. So thank you for that jog of memory there. See, being the old lady of the group, I'm starting to lose it.
No.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but this week will be, a lot of practicing with singing before the concert on Friday. And of course, we're getting ready for our anniversary for my husband and I for 40 years. So that's kind of
what an amazing adventure. 40 years.
40 years married, 45 together.
Wow.
That's a long time. Congratulations for being able to navigate that through all of life's ups and downs.
Yeah, a lot of people ask, we get the questions, how do you do it? How do you stay together? And you can give the pat answers of communication and compromising, which is important. But, the reality is when we got married, we were different people. So if you want to stay together that long, you got to be vested into falling in love with the person as they go through each stage of life, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not the same person I was. I mean, there's parts of me that are the same. I'm still an extrovert. I'm still talkative. I'm still, the one that's going to walk up to a stranger kind of thing and start a conversation. But I'm different than I was when we started dating at the age of 17. So.
Hey everybody, love Ready to Connect? Become a Patreon supporter for $1 a month, and that'll earn you a shout out or a credit roll.
Love Ready to Connect? Why not support us with the Ready to Connect Enthusiast tier? For $5 a month, you get exclusive content as well as power of voting on our next topics, in addition to everything you get as a Ready to Connect supporter.
If you love Ready to Connect and you want to become a Ready to Connect insider for $10 a month, in addition to everything that you'll get in the other two tiers, you will also get a chance to be a guest on our podcast. All tiers, no matter how you choose to support Ready to Connect, you will be getting the podcast episodes a day early.
Thanks for supporting us.
Well, if you were the same person, that would be kind of scary that you didn't evolve. So,
but each stage, becoming a mom changes you and how you react and think about things, and you have to be willing to be in love with that person and fall in love with that person at each stage. And now that we're getting to we're past the empty nest stage now and moving into our what they call our golden years, you got to be willing to be in love with that person and everything about them, even how they sound when they chew. So It's amazing. It's amazing the things that you never think will bother you until you're with them forever. And you're just like, really? Have we not learned how to chew quieter? I don't know.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, it's
I
funny.
keep thinking dinner will pass, everything will be fine. No, I'm really kidding. But shall we get into the strange and odd creatures that we have discovered?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Okay, well, we're gonna go from north to south. We'll start with New York, which was the state I had. I was assigned New York and happy to take it, being that I am, spent a good part of my life living on Long Island. And I have to say, I do need to report on a cryptid that we've already reported on. So when Ryan talked about Vermont, he reported on Champ, correct?
Correct.
From Lake Champlain. And it just so happens that probably the most well-known cryptid in New York is Champ, because Lake Champlain shares the border between New York and Vermont. So I do want to at least kind of gloss over the same points that you did, but if you want to hear it more in depth, go back to our first episode with the cryptids. I think it was episode 48, where Ryan reported on Champ. But Champ is definitely the most famous cryptid associated with New York. And it's the legendary sea monster of Lake Champlain. And it's generally described long neck, large body, series of humps that appear above the water. Some witnesses describe the creature as resembling a giant snake or a prehistoric marine reptile. And I believe, Ryan, you reported, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you reported on the Mansi photograph that was came about in 1977, as well as a 2005 video with the fisherman Dick Offalter and Pete Baudet.
Yes.
They had reported seeing something large moving beneath their boat, and they captured a video of what they saw. But as it comes to light, they did report, and I guess ABC News did a report on it, but they did report that they didn't see the entire creature. So it's really hard to kind of the video is not of an entire creature. So it's really hard to kind of pinpoint it. And then the most recent claim is reported in 2026. The filmmakers, Richard Rossi and Kelly Tabor, were doing, I guess, making a movie on Lake Champlain. And their video in the film, which I don't think they saw right away. I think they saw it like a couple years later when they were editing it. So it wasn't like something they saw immediately. It appeared to show a long, narrow object that moves through the water.
How fitting.
Yes, right. So I think you report there is definitely more than 300 reports of a Champ sighting. So when you get that many reports, there's something there, right? So I'll just leave Champ alone for now, but just know that is probably the most famous cryptid that comes out of New York. And also New York has a lot of sea monsters in it, lake monsters and sea monsters, and I'll reserve some for bonus content. But there's a Seneca Lake monster, there's Old Greenie of Cayuga Lake, and we can get into those other lake monsters, in bonus content for Patreon, our Patreon subscribers. But I want to shift to something I have never heard of before, and that's a blob monster.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, Heather went, what?
I love the names of these.
The Kinderhook blob monster. And when I saw blob monster, I'm like, I'm so there. I got to figure out what this is.
Yeah, what kind of blob?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because quite a few of the reports come from the same family, same member of the family. So it's a strange cryptid, and it comes out of Kinderhook, which is in Columbia County, New York. It's unlike other cryptids that are described as more animal-like because it's a blob. So it's very difficult to classify. So witnesses of the Kinderhook blob describe it as large, white, or bluish, amorphous shape, and it appears to float or glide through the woods. So it doesn't make really a lot of noise. Okay.
How does it float?
I don't know. One of the earliest and best known reports came in 1962 when Bruce Hollenbeck, who was about 10 years old at the time, encountered the creature while in the woods behind his grandparents' house. Hollenbeck later, wrote about it because I think it sparked an interest in researching mysterious creatures, sort of like what we're doing. But according to his account, he heard a strange whistling sound. Now, remember that whistling sound, strange whistling sound, and looked toward a large pine tree. He reported seeing what appeared to be a huge, shapeless blob. Although the creature apparently had no visible eyes, Hollenbeck felt that it was looking directly at him. He described it as having a large, rounded head and a bluish tint. But the experience didn't end there. Hollenbeck later reported that a friend, Jerome Miller, claimed to have encountered a similar white blob and had been chased by it. The boys eventually went looking for the creature with pitchforks, as you can imagine, but reportedly fled after seeing it hovering among the trees. So there's some other alleged encounters were reported by members of Hollenbeck's family. In 1978, two relatives reportedly saw a white, bell-shaped object gliding toward them while they were camping. And in 1993, Hollenbeck's father reportedly saw something large and white fly over him while he was working on a tractor. So that's all coming from the same family. So you have to wonder, like, is it just like a family lore, a family story that's being passed down? I don't know. But there are more recent accounts that are associated with this Kinderhook area. In 2017, so now we're getting more recent, a report described a person hearing repeated whistling sound in the woods and seeing a gray humanoid-looking figure moving overhead. So, and another 2000 report involved two people who claimed that a roughly 7-foot-tall white figure appeared in the woods, accompanied by a sudden temperature drop and a loud screech. So that's a little bit different because it's a loud screech and not a whistle. So it's interesting, but that 2017 account of a person in the woods behind actually another grandparent's house, in the Kinderhook area, described this whistling sound. And I read his account as he wrote it. I think I found it on Reddit. He wrote it out, and it was almost like you were in the Blair Witch Project. I got all caught up on the whistling started far away and it got closer, and he's able to replicate how it followed the same pattern, almost like in a communication. All I could think of was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, do 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 kind of thing, and that tone was supposed to give you a communicate with you words, right? So all I could think of is this whistle, going the same whistle over and over again, the same intonation as it got closer and closer and closer, the sound. And then he finally saw this blob and he decided to walk quickly, not run, because he was afraid if he was running, he'd be chased. And it stopped immediately after he got out of the woods.
Wow. Wow.
So, questions. What is this blob? What can it be? There is actually no accepted explanation for any of it. But the possibilities range from misidentified wildlife. What could that be, though? As a misidentified wildlife, a white bell-shaped blob with a bluish tint floating.
If you like what you're hearing and want to check out more podcasts from Artist Haven Media or are interested in recording a podcast at our studio, find out more information by visiting our website at artisthavenmedia.com.
A nuclear invention. I don't know.
But it's definitely not wildlife, right? Or unusual atmospheric effects. Maybe like some sort of concentrated fog with sound. I don't know. Or a hallucination. There's that possibility. Never know.
Sure, maybe they were eating too many mushrooms in the woods.
Maybe. But it gave them all the same hallucination. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know how it goes. Like when you're telling a story and you can like get into that story, like you start adapting to like what that story's scenario and image looks like, right? So maybe they all got on board. Yeah.
Well, I would think with a Hollenbeck family, right? I'm sure these family members talked about that kind of encounter they had. So by, that influence that you might get, right? Going into the woods, oh, I hope you don't see the blob kind of thing. Maybe you'd be influenced and you might pick up something that you think is like that. But this one account in 2017, I mean, he didn't go in thinking that there was a Kinderhook blob he might find,
Yeah.
He was there he was there to find a place to put a shed, you know? So it was just interesting how that one with the whistling and the repetitive pattern of the whistling made me think of Close Encounters of the Third Kind with that tone. And then I think, okay, well, that movie's got to be based on some sort of fact somewhere that we don't, the general public doesn't know. But I don't know. I just found it interesting. There's so many movies out there that talk about sound and tones being used to communicate. Right. And wasn't The Abyss one of them or something like that, where they have certain tones or light variations that are supposed to communicate. So I'm wondering, like, was a whistling some sort of way that this blob was to communicate? I don't know. I mean, when you think about blobs, I suppose a jellyfish is the first thing that would come to mind as far as being, a blob.
That's what I thought.
But is it a jellyfish in the air?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there such, maybe there is such a creature and it's in Kinderhook of Columbia County in New York. So,
Or maybe it's Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's probably what it is. As it's floating though and going through the air, could that be how it's whistling? Like the fact that like maybe some part of its body's letting air go through
Gas
it, and
out.
so it's just creating that sound.
but you know what? I thought about that because wind whistles through trees and everything.
Yeah.
But this account said it's specific tones. It would go up, down, I mean, to get it and then repeat that same pattern.
It's communicating.
Yeah. But because I thought the same thing, Ryan, right? If it's floating, is it creating some sort of breeze or wind through the trees that creates that whistling sound? Because you get whistling in breezy. I don't know. But I don't know how I'd feel seeing a blob that's whistling. Would I stay? But all of them report feeling creepy, like creeped out by it, like it was there not on the best of terms.
Yeah, but I think fear, right? Fear of something we don't understand creates a negative experience in the body, right? When we don't understand something, we create fear around it until we understand it. So it could be just all fear factor too, of just not understanding what this is.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I found that to be really kind of very interesting and wanting to apparently, if you go down the rabbit hole of Reddit and all the different accounts that could be there, some of them are, of course, making fun of it, but others are saying, no, this really happened. And you'll get other people saying, yeah, I had the same thing. I think there's a lot of reports of cryptids that people don't report, put it that way. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people see things and just pass it off or don't want to recognize it. Or if they put a name to it or talk about the strangeness, they have to then, come to terms that there's something else on our world that we don't understand or is
just a few minutes ago we witnessed a shadow figure walking right behind Ryan and he's like, what are you talking about? Nobody's here. So right.
When I saw the shadow on the wall, I'm like, who's with you in the house? And he's like, nobody. I'm like, okay.
Maybe you.
Okay, that's somebody. But it's just really kind of interesting. Because in this Reddit, the other people poke up, say, I've been in that area and I've heard the same kind of whistling, or things like that. So then, you wonder. And the fact that it got closer, if it stayed in the distance, then you could say, well, maybe there's some wind or something that goes through some sort of like cave area, and it makes that kind of tone. But it got closer and closer until he finally saw this blob. I don't know.
That's interesting. And then also the fact that you said the tones that it was making repeated.
Yeah.
So that's interesting too. It's not like it just stayed on one tone
right
for like a long time. So there's a pattern.
Yeah. Interesting, right? I don't know. But it's the first time I've heard the word blob associated with a cryptid, and I just had to go for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Had to go for it. Had to go down that deep hole.
I'm
So if
just
we,
envisioning a jellyfish flying through the air making sounds, and I don't know.
I mean, who's to say? I mean, there's a lot of strange creatures in our oceans. Who's to say they're not also in the woods or in the air and we just haven't
True.
seen them?
That's true. That's true.
You know, you get to some of these very dense forest areas, you know, that probably haven't been explored.
Mm.
I don't know. So if we leave the blob in the woods of Kinderhook and we leave the lake monsters, we'll report on those, a couple that I found. Let's go to a road, Manitou Road. Okay. This is in the Rochester area. Um, it's a strange cryptid. It's a legend of the Manitou Road demon. So, Manitou Road is in Greene, which is in Monroe County, which is just west of Rochester. Um, this this creature is described as being frightening, fast-moving, winged, or a flying entity. Reports describe the Manitou Road demon as having sharp teeth, the ability to move extremely quickly, and some stories claim that it chased automobiles, while others describe it striking or beating against the windows. Interesting.
Don't you have a friend in Rochester? You should.
I do. Yeah.
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 You should have him go investigate for us.
Yeah. See, go down Manitou Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give Louis a call. So one of the best known reports came from local historian Shirley Cox Husted, who reportedly encountered the creature when she was young while staying at her brother's farmhouse in Manitou Road. This is probably during the 1940s. Her description suggested that the creature made strange sound that did not resemble an ordinary bird. So that's kind of interesting. So it's not like a bird song or a screech. It's just a very strange sound. Although I have to say, I went down the rabbit hole of listening to different bird sounds and strange bird sounds. There are some very frightening sounds that come out of some birds.
Agreed. Yes.
That make you think that there's a demon around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, the hornbill, have you heard him? Oh my God. That is frightening. And if you didn't know that was this bird, first of all, the bird is frightening to look at to begin with, but the sound that comes, oh my word. So, I mean, the fact that she's saying it didn't sound like a bird, it definitely could have been. That's all I'm saying. So this legend is continuing to be repeated in the Rochester area, folklore for sure. Modern account describes the creature as something that has supposedly been reported for generations along the road. But unlike the blob and champ, this road demon, it's somewhere between, it occupies that space between being a cryptid and a legend. You know, is it more the legend of this road and how to fear being on this road, that you're going to be chased by the Manitou Road demon, that maybe some bird that has a frightening call makes you think a demon's chasing you? But the fact that it chases cars, I'm trying to think of birds that chase cars, that follow after you.
I don't know of any. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any that would do that.
All I can find are the stories and reports about this Manitou Road demon. I have not seen any kind of footage or photos. So if anybody has one, and you're right, maybe I should give Louis a call. Maybe I'm overdue, and see if he'll go, him or his wife will go down Manitou Road and check out if there's a demon down there. I don't know.
Hey, how's it going? Can you go down this road, see if there's a
I know I'm your weird friend, but let's just make it even weirder. Can I ask you a favor? Yeah. But and then I'll save the other two lake monsters for when we do some bonus content from New York. Yeah, so that's what's in New York. Let's go down to New Jersey.
New Jersey. I think there's an accent that I don't have there, but yeah. Very different from Connecticut accent. Well, we had to start with, going down into Jersey, it had to start with the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is by far like New Jersey's famous kind of cryptid.
Yeah,
so
I figured we'd hear about him. Yeah,
absolutely. So, just kind of like as big as Bigfoot, But the legend begins in 1735, and the traditional story dates back to that era and what is now known as the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey. According to folklore, a woman known as Mother Leeds already had 12 children upon learning she was pregnant with her 13th child.
Oh my God, that's a cryptid right there.
Yeah, 13 children.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. Like it's unheard of in this day and age, right? And I'm sure there are people out there that have more than 2 children, but 13 children, oof, can't even imagine. But apparently, when she found out she was pregnant with the 13th child, supposedly she cried out in frustration, "Let this one be the devil!" And I can totally see someone like just losing their mind over the fact that they're pregnant for the 13th time.
Yeah, but would they really claim that they want their child to be the devil? I mean,
I know, right? Like, yeah, you're right. Because no mother should be wishing that on anybody.
I would hope not.
But because of this statement, it appears that when the baby was born, it reportedly transformed in front of everyone's eyes. And witnesses claimed that it grew leathery, oh, goodness gracious, I can't find my words today. Leathery bat wings. Okay, if I delivered a baby and my baby started sprouting bat wings, I'd panic. But then it didn't stop there. Apparently, it grew and developed horse-like features. It sprouted hooves. It grew claws. It developed a forked and barbed tail. It screamed with unnatural cries, which, yeah, it sounds like the baby's ripping apart. Of course it's going to scream unnaturally. Good gracious. But apparently the creature allegedly like flew up the chimney and disappeared into the Pine Barrens. And
one less mouth to feed.
One less mouth to feed, exactly.
I don't mean to make light of something like that, but you know.
But it's true. But interestingly, historians believe Mother Leeds may have been inspired by a real woman of this time era that actually lived and breathed. Her husband was Daniel Leeds, and a publisher and an astrologer, which I found fascinating, whose almanacs angered Quakers because they included astrology and mystical symbols. So even though she screamed out, right? She screamed out, "Let this one be the devil." I feel like Mr. and Mrs. Leeds were definitely advanced for this era, right? If Mr. Leeds was, including astrology and mystical symbols, obviously there was some form of connection already there,
right?
Which makes the statement not less scary, but like still kind of interesting. It might have been part of their natural speak,
right.
Just like myself as a psychic medium, I talk a lot about spirit, spirit says this, right? Which could be misinterpreted by somebody who doesn't hang out in that lingo.
That's true. Yeah.
So, but yeah, apparently witnesses describe this creature as standing 4 to 7 feet tall. It has kangaroo-like hind legs. It has hooved feet, horse and goat-like head, long neck, bat wings, sharp claws, and of course, red glowing eyes. Can't leave out the red glowing eyes.
No, you can't.
And then the forked or pointed tail. Some people say it even hops. Others claim that it flies effortlessly through the trees. Apparently, the habitat of the Pine Barrens is dense forest, cedar swamps, lots of sand roads. There's also an abandoned village in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. And there's very little lighting within the Pine Barrens. So see, Ryan, we could go find your World War II in New Jersey, and we could also go look for, this amazing creature that Mother Leeds produced. because we're going to need the soldiers from that war to fight
Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
the Jersey Devil. Found it very fascinating. Did not find, through all my internet searches, did not find any current sightings of the Jersey Devil, but the legend definitely lives on. One of the reports was there's a sighting in 1816 by Commodore Stephen Decatur. Decatur, I probably butchered that. Decatur, thank you. And this gentleman reportedly shot a cannonball at it.
Whoa.
And
he was serious.
But it just kept flying. It didn't even pay him any attention. It was kind of like, whatever, you just shot a cannonball at me, and the Jersey Devil kept flying. So apparently the Jersey Devil also has an attitude.
Apparently.
The next sighting was in 1820 by Joseph Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte's brother reportedly encountered the creature while hunting near Bordentown. He claimed he saw an animal unlike anything he'd ever witnessed in his life, and was so scared that he couldn't report any features. Furthermore, in 1909, a panic began. In January of 1909, for 1 week, hundreds of people claimed encounters. Reports came from Camden, Philadelphia, Trenton, Bristol, Burlington, and Gloucester City. Schools were closed for this.
Wow.
Factories were shut down for this.
Wow.
People refused to leave their homes after dark.
Wow.
There was police investigations of strange tracks. Many newspapers devoted front pages of this mystery, and people came forward afterwards and reported that they saw hoof prints ending abruptly, tracks crossing rooftops. Now, I don't know what people are doing up on their roofs looking for tracks, but apparently there were there were rooftop prints.
And it wasn't Christmas, so it's not like reindeer or Santa.
Well, so that there wasn't any follow-up to that statement, but it does make me think that it might have been during winter months, because one of the accounts was they found prints in the snow.
Yeah, so I mean, what other kind of track's going to be on a roof if it doesn't have snow on it?
Correct. So it might have happened. Well, and it's January, so it's very quite possible it did snow. And this is New England; it can snow at any point, right?
Well,
especially in January.
You were asking like what tracks who would be looking, but if you had kids that believed in Santa and stuff like that, they're going to be looking up on the roof for tracks, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. But people reported that their chickens went missing, and there was lots of livestock missing, and police could never identify the tracks. So of course that sent me on like another research. I wanted to see if I could find any police reports that had maybe pictures of the tracks, if there's actual proof of this. I was very unsuccessful, unfortunately. I'm sure they do exist. They're somewhere in an archive where, again, we're just going to have to take a road trip, right?
Yeah.
But witnesses described blood-curdling screams going down the streets of their their hometowns, high-pitched shrieks off in the distance, more whistling.
Oh.
So maybe it teamed up with your blob. I don't know. Lots of whistling, and very much lots of unnatural screeching happening over in the distance. So many compare it to several animals simultaneously crying, but everybody just came to the same point that they believed it was the Jersey Devil. So that was pretty cool. My next report was on the Mantis Man. So if you go and Google Mantis Man, it's really quite funny because it looks like a mantis, but as big as you and I, like a human. Very interesting. Very bulbous head, very weird, body.
Makes me think of what was it, Men in Black? Remember the exterminator, the bug?
Yeah,
that came down.
Yeah, so this actually looks like a praying mantis, um, and just human size. It's one of Jersey's strangest modern legends. It began, it's unlike older folklore. This creature emerged primarily through reports in the late 20th century, especially during 1970 through 1990s. Um, the accounts are kind of sparse, so I had to do a little digging. But witnesses describe the mantis man as being 6 to 8 feet tall, which that's pretty large. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
especially 8 feet tall. That's normal. That's bigger than the average man, at least nowadays.
Bigger than most men, 8 feet tall.
Yeah, unless he's a basketball player.
Is there some basketball player that is like 7 feet something?
Yeah, and then there's an actor, Andre the Giant. Wasn't he like 7 feet tall or 8 feet tall?
I don't know about eight. All right, I'm gonna look.
You're gonna look. Okay, I'm gonna keep talking. So apparently, the witnesses say he was 6 to 8 feet tall, extremely thin, had green and or brown skin. Weird, right? Green skin makes me think he has an infection, but
Or was painting himself. I don't know.
right? Maybe the brown skin he got a suntan. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he had really long insect arms and triangular head and large black beady eyes. And of course, it was named the mantis man because it behaved, its movements were similar to a praying mantis. Some people claim that it could leap extraordinary distances from rooftop to rooftop. It's fascinating. Like folklore is so fascinating how the accounts get written, but it appears that it shows up all over New Jersey, Hunterdon County, rural Warren County, and various other places. And most of these places that are reporting the sighting is saying that these are very quiet, wooded regions within wetlands and farmland. How's that research going over there, Lisa? I see you plugging away.
I got something here. So Andre the Giant was 7 feet 4 inches tall, but humans do have grown past 8 feet tall. It's a rarity. The tallest person in recorded history with irrefutable evidence was Robert Wadlow from the United States, who reached an astonishing 8 feet 11 inches. He was born in 1918 and he died in 1940 at the age of 22. So anyway, and then other individuals over 8 feet tall. There's Sultan Kosin, the living Guinness World Records title holder for the tallest living man, standing at 8 feet 1 inch tall.
Wow.
Only a small handful of people in verified medical history have crossed the 8-foot threshold. It's known as gigantism, apparently. So, and with that comes medical issues too, right? So,
Sure.
but there you go. Yes, but it is rare.
Very rare.
Very rare. All right.
So witnesses were also saying that when they did witness the mantis, that the mantis would watch silently. It was a very brief appearance. It vanishes into the brush, never aggressively attacking anyone. Probably very typical behavior of like a normal praying mantis. They're not going to interact with any humans. They're more scared of us than we are of them. Although praying mantises can be a little off-putting at first until you're like, wow, that's a cool bug. In fact, I haven't seen a praying mantis in a long time. How about you guys?
It's been a while. They're a protected species, particularly in this state, because it's our state bug, isn't it? Praying mantis.
Right.
Yeah, and they were on the endangered species list, right?
Yeah, they're a protected species of bug. You can't harm a praying mantis, and you're not supposed to catch them or anything like that, I don't think. But
Right.
I have to say, go ahead. You know what?
I know there's a local nursery that you can actually purchase praying mantis eggs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, Joe, just listening to Mantis Man, it just makes me think of like the superheroes, Mantis,
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, like Aquaman and
Yeah.
all those other ones. And we're gonna have to write a script. Fun. And my last report is the Howler, the Great Swamp Devil. Lots of devils down in Jersey. What's going on down there?
I don't know, but I'm glad it's coming out of a swamp because there's got to be like some sort of water animal, right?
No, it's actually a wolf. It
Oh, it's a
looks like a
wolf.
wolf. Like when I was looking through all the research, it very much looked um, like a wolf to me. But they're saying that the Great Swamp National Wildlife Refuge has long been associated with unexplained sounds from the howler, which is also deemed as the Great Swamp Devil. Folklore and stories as early as the 20th century have been circulating around with residents that live near this refuge. And whenever they see this howler, it's more described as a non-visual sighting. It's more encountering of like hearing an animal that doesn't fit into the landscape. They also claim that the howl is like a horrific scream.
Mm.
The only other animal I can think of that has a horrific scream would be I just had it and I lost my words. It's a cat. It's like a
Fisher cat.
fisher cat, which sounds like a screaming baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite terrifying, actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do have them here in Connecticut, and they do come through the neighborhood. And
Is it the screech owl or the great horned owl too that has a cry that's sort of like that?
yes,
And there's
yes,
also a fox too that sounds like that.
yes. What was that song? What does the fox say? No.
The fox screams.
It screams.
Yeah.
So apparently it's not a wolf because wolves howl. I mean, I'm sure they can scream when they're, activated into fear or hunting or something. But apparently this is beyond the fisher cat, beyond the howl of a normal owl or wolf or fox or coyote. Because the reason why they say it's distinguished is because it's a long howl, and most of these creatures don't have that lung capacity. But what scared people about this howler was that it would come and scratch at the houses. It would have heavy footsteps that you could hear from outside. Homeowners claim that there was continuous scratching at doors and walls during the night to get into the house, and very few people have seen it, but it's the noises and the feeling of having this animal around really created a fear factor. Some people say it's a shadowy humanoid creating this. It could be a bear, could be a wolf, could be another large black animal, which in Connecticut or even in New Jersey, I can't think of any animals that are large black animals other than a bear.
Yeah.
Not that I'm denoting it, but the locals do say it was appearing consistently. And it appeared to people who were closer to dense wetlands and thick woods and marshes where you had like limited visibility. And then, of course, you couldn't decipher if some of the long howling was echo related, going across like wetlands, or really making the source all kind of difficult to identify. But I found that very interesting. And for bonus content, I want you to come over and hear about the Griggstown cow down in New Jersey.
Okay.
So we'll save that for later. What you got, Ryan?
Yeah, what's in Pennsylvania?
Well, first I want to say Pennsylvania is interesting with their names for their cryptids. I was chuckling at pretty much all of these.
Okay.
So,
all right.
All right. But it's quite fascinating what we have going on in Pennsylvania. So the first one that we have is called the squonk. and it's a shy, pig-like creature covered in warts and saggy, ill-fitting skin. It spends its life weeping over its ugliness and will completely dissolve into a puddle of tears if cornered or discovered. When I read that, I was like, what?
What?
Okay.
Oh, that kind of deserves a name, Squonk.
Now, and now that I think about it, if it's like a pig-like creature, squonk, okay.
What?
I could see that name, maybe.
Did he go squonk, squonk, squonk instead of...
Yeah, or squealing like a pig. Yeah. So, I don't know, but yes, it's a legendary fearsome critter from the hemlock forest of northern Pennsylvania, originating in late 19th century lumberjack folklore. I feel like we talked about lumberjacks in previous episodes as well. What was it, Maine that had lumberjacks? I can't remember.
Yes, it was Maine. A lot of lumberjack lore in Maine.
It was first documented by William T. Cox in his 1910 book "Fearsome Creatures of the Lumber Woods." Once again, it appears as a small pig-like or warty creature with loose, baggy skin covered in moles and warts. It also may have webbed toes only on its left foot, so that was interesting.
Only on its left foot, so like it was left side driven?
Perhaps.
Or
Yeah.
only the left foot goes in the water. I don't know.
Maybe. There you go. It moves mostly at dusk and twilight and slows down even further on bright moonlit nights to avoid seeing its own reflection in pools of water. So
It's a really sad character, huh?
I know this is a sad creature.
Sad creature.
Yeah. Apparently, when hunters tracked the creature by following the wet, tear-stained trail it left behind while sobbing, when it was cornered, trapped or startled, the squonk triggers a dramatic defense mechanism, completely melting away into a pool of bubbling tears and water until nothing physical remains. That's interesting. All
right. That's got to be like a drunken kind of like.
I was really? Like, maybe it's just like crying enough so you're focusing on that, and then like it just disappears. Like all of us, like it just decides to walk away, and you're focused on the water. Like,
Or maybe it's the blob that Lisa reported on.
Yeah, maybe.
Taking the shape of a pig. I don't know.
There you go.
I can see why you couldn't help but laugh all the way through this. Like, seriously.
Well, the squonk is spotted annually, though. So when I was looking up, like, most recent sightings, I can't help but laugh. I'm sorry, Pennsylvania, but Squonkapalooza, that's what's happening there. They got Squonkapalooza happening every year in downtown Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And the most recent festival happened on August 1st of this year.
Oh, we missed it.
Oh, we just
missed it. I'm sorry, didn't get to talk about Squonkapalooza.
Next year, we got to put feet on the ground. It'd be at Squonkapalooza, and there was another festival. I mean, there's been a couple that we've uncovered.
There's the Mothman Festival.
The Mothman Festival. Yep.
Yeah. So,
what happens at a Squonkapalooza?
They got local vendors, you got educational events, and an official crying squonk mascot roams the crowds.
Do they? I'm sorry if this is kind of off color, but do they serve ham sandwiches?
Oh, I don't know.
No, because it's just
a bacon part of this. What's going on?
I don't know. Didn't talk about food.
It melts, so they can't get any meat. So I don't know.
There you go. Maybe they got some melt sandwiches going on with ham and.
I feel like the Squonkapalooza came first, and they developed a squonk to kind of like perpetuate the Squonkapalooza, so people will come out and spend money. Maybe.
I don't know. So yeah, when I read that, I couldn't. I'm sorry, Pennsylvania. I had to laugh. Like that was.
Yeah.
That was something. As we move forward, though, this next one I kind of chuckled again at the name of it. Maybe it's just the names that I was laughing at. The Giwoggle? I'm a Giwoggle. I'm probably not pronouncing this correctly. Giwoggle.
The Gawaggle.
Gawaggle. So it's a Clinton County legend originating from 1860s folklore. It's a mixture of an upright wolf's torso, the hands of a bird, and the feet or head structure of a horse.
Wait. Hands of a bird. Meaning like it has wings?
Yeah, what's a hand of a bird?
Yeah,
is it the claws or is it the...
I don't know. We will find out here. So, bird claws.
Bird, okay, so
like
the talons.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So, yeah. That's happening in Clinton County, Pennsylvania. So it stands about 6 feet tall. Here's more detail here. The body of a wolf. Okay, so yeah, the bird claws instead of paws and rear horse hooves. So, the mixed feet were meant to confuse and trick any trackers trying to follow it. I feel like
that's like the one, yeah, that was part goat and part something. It kept flipping back and forth. I report on that. And you think I'd remember the name?
Yeah. Yep. And this is not like the mountain goats, walking in one circle up a mountain here. So, okay, so basically, there you go. Which one is that?
The Gawaggle.
Yep, there you go. So it mostly caused petty chaos such as damaging tools, trampling crops, and scaring farm cows rather than hurting people. The most recent historically documented sightings, that was in the... See, that okay, it looks like a cartoon. Yeah.
Well, right, because it's eating fast food.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I'm showing on my screen various artist renditions of a Gawaggle.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll have to put them up.
Yeah. So in January 1909, there was a massive wave of creature sightings that swept through Clinton County. Let's see. They thought it was tied to the historic Jersey Devil Panic. So there you go, Heather. There's a tie to your Devil Panics going on too. Apparently,
yes.
The paper mill. There was a night watchman, E.W. Rogers, reported seeing a large, strange creature flying directly over the local paper mill. There's the wolf-top clatter. A resident heard heavy rhythmic thuds on his roof. All types of things happening here.
Lots of roof dancing going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. But basically, recently though, recent decades, reports of wolf-like creatures have popped up in neighboring Clearfield County, so in another county. And because of this, area sits near the cemetery where the legendary monster hunter Loophill Ike is buried. Local enthusiasts speculate that the Gigwoggle may have shifted to a different territory. So they think that it just kind of moved on to a different territory. So that was that. Then I found the okay, here we go. Monongy, I don't know. Monongy.
Mononogy?
Sure, yeah. It's a fabled half man, half fish serpentine river monster, because we had to find something in... I guess this is like a mermaid, but not really. It's said to lurk in the Monongahela River near the southwestern border.
I used to teach this. Monongahela.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm not saying it right either.
It's a legendary river monster described as half man, half fish creature. Lives in the river. It dates back to the French and Indian War era, when soldiers allegedly reported bizarre aquatic entities in the water. It is pictured with a human-like upper body, broad shoulders, and a scaled fish or amphibian tail. Reports spiked in through the 1930s through the 1950s. So it's that like 20-year period. Leading local authorities and police task force to investigate the waters. So that was interesting. Let's see. There isn't really any modern accounts other than like between the 1930s and 1950s. There's a rumored photograph of it from 2003. Witnesses claim to have taken a definitive photograph of the fish man. However, unfortunately, that image never surfaced publicly. And so far, like, there's ongoing fishermen reports saying that there's unexplained, large wakes or massive objects in the water. That's about it. Yeah, so found
like a mermaid.
Exactly.
Like you said.
Yeah. So I found some other cryptids that could be, content on Patreon, like the Butler Gargoyle.
Oh.
So that might be interesting, as well as the Waterford Sheep Man.
All right. Can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah.
Sounds like bonus content to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's just amazing. That's just quite amazing. And
very fascinating.
Couldn't help but chuckle at the names. It was interesting. So.
Yeah, for sure. I just want our listeners to remember that we are going to have a live taping of Ready to Connect on September 14th here in Coventry, Connecticut. And you can find links to that information through Art Haven Media website or Serenity Grove Wellness Center website. And definitely come out and see a live taping. We have a lot of fun. And then also, just as a plug for our Patreon content, we are a listener-supported podcast, so do please consider supporting us through Patreon subscriptions. There are 3 tiers there that you can find the best one to suit you, and you can get access to some of our bonus content. And starting today will be Watson's Wisdom over there. That Ryan is putting together. Wisdom coming from his dog, Watson. I know you all want to be see all of that. And
Watson definitely has wisdom.
Yes, absolutely.
He's a true British corgi.
Yes.
So British corgis have a lot of wisdom. Is that what we're... Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know the dog breeds as much as I know,
They were the Queen's favorite dogs.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
She believed that they were, very incredible line of, dogs. So,
yeah. So definitely, if you are a Patreon subscriber, head on over to Patreon and see the bonus content that's uploaded on Wednesdays there for you. And until next week, we'll be coming back reporting on West Virginia, and Maryland. So that looks good. So until then, we look forward to connecting with you and being in your ears.
Thank you for tuning in to Ready to Connect. If you're interested in exclusive behind-the-scenes content, be sure to like, share, and follow us on social media by searching for Ready to Connect Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And for those looking to further support our podcast, consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/readytoconnectpodcast. And until next time, get ready to connect.